We'll now go a bit deeper to looking at this nutrition sensitive at programming level. And when we talk of nutrition sensitive agriculture, in agriculture, we look at crops and we also look at the livestock. So just a small definition of nutrition sensitive agriculture. This is an approach that seeks to maximize the positive impact of agriculture and food system on nutrition outcomes while minimizing the negative consequence of agriculture programming on population nutrition and health. So in this conference, we are talking about the food system, sustainable food system. When we are talking about the food system, we are looking at the system in its totality. This is from production. Kitambo used to say from farm to fork. We are looking at production, the handling, preparation, transportation, the consumer preference, the culture and social factors. So we are looking at that in totality, and it should have an impact on nutrition and health. As Irene have mentioned, we have 3 pathways in which agriculture can positively influence nutrition. We have the food production pathway. One of our beneficiaries who's doing millet and sorghum talked about that. You can do production for own consumption. We have another pathway of income. You can do production for sale, you get some money, and you improve your diet at household level. And also the women empowerment pathway, whereby when we empower women in terms of giving them knowledge, providing them with some of these inputs, providing them with the opportunities like we've done to some of the beneficiaries, they'll have that power to make their decisions at household level, which will translate to nutrition improvement. We've gone further to develop a nutrition sensitive agriculture and food system training package. This was launched recently, I think in April. And it has a technical manual and a facilitator's guide. And this has been endorsed by Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture, KNDI, Department of Blue Economy, and FAO. And one more important thing is to know that the package has been accredited by KNDI. So when you use the package, KNDI is aware of it, and for like the students, you can get the CPD, and even for the trainers. So it's a national package that was launched, and it's being rolled out to county levels. The aim of this package is to equip the policymakers and program planners, the technical officers, and different sectors that contribute to improving nutrition directly or indirectly with knowledge on how to formulate and successfully implement sensitive agriculture and food system investment. In that training package, we have a lot of case studies that have been done in Kenya. So if you want to do a program, if you want to learn more about nutrition sensitive agriculture, the package contains a lot of this information. And you can find the package on that link, the soft copies. https://kilimo.go.ke/NSAFC/. Yeah. It's also on KNDI website. So now I want to talk about nutrition sensitive livestock programming. We have done a research in livestock programming to see how livestock can contribute to improvement of nutrition. And in the past, there are some studies which have been done to show whether there is a direct correlation between livestock and nutrition. And yes, they have shown that there is a direct correlation between livestock and nutrition. And this is one of the pathways that we can use to address the issues of malnutrition. Many are the time that we tackle acute malnutrition at treatment level. But if we do at prevention level, the benefit outweighs and the cost outweighs that one on when we are, what do you call it? When we are acting towards now when we are at that phase of maybe at phase 3 and 4, if we could do nutrition sensitive livestock programming, it can save us from addressing malnutrition at emergency levels. So we have one research that was done in Marsabit County, livestock programming for nutrition improvement in children under 5 years, pregnant and lactating women in Marsabit County. The project was called Livestock for Health. This was done between 2018 and 2022. This was done by various partners. We had USAID as our resource partner, FAO with overall coordination and technical support, University of Washington as the lead research partner, Washington State University, sorry. We had UNICEF for technical support in nutrition counseling. We had the national government providing technical support, NDMA on early warning data and coordination. We had the county government of Marsabit, again doing technical support and coordination. We had Concern Worldwide, who are now delivering the nutrition counseling, and PASIDA, who did field animal distribution and the livestock health intervention. So as I had mentioned, this was a research-oriented project carried out between 2018 August and September 2022 in Marsabit County. The project was dubbed Livestock for Health. The overall objective of this project was to determine the effect of the provision of livestock feed with or without nutritional counseling on reducing the risk of seasonal spike in acute malnutrition among children under 5, pregnant and lactating women in Marsabit County. General overview of the study, we know that in ASAL areas, that is arid and semi-arid areas, of which Marsabit is one of them, when we have the drought, they move with all the livestock, including the milking herd. So the household is left without any milk. So the approach that we used was to provide livestock feed so that the household could retain some animals, especially the milking one and the pregnant one. And we fed them during the dry season. And this was done together with the nutrition education, which encouraged milk consumption for children under 5, pregnant and lactating women. We had 3 objectives in this study: to determine effect of providing livestock feed during critical dry period on household milk yield, also effect of livestock feed and enhanced nutritional counseling on milk consumption, and effect of livestock feed and enhanced nutrition counseling on risk of acute malnutrition. We wanted to see whether this intervention would have an impact in reducing the risk of acute malnutrition. So the study was a cluster randomized control study. We had 3 arms. One arm, we provided livestock feed only during the dry period. In arm 2, we provided livestock feeds and enhanced nutritional counseling. And then we had the control arm. In each of the arms, we had about 600 households. And one of the criteria for the household was that each household had a mother with a child less than 3 years, and they must have had the animals so that now we could select we call them tropical livestock unit, especially the milking one that were to be left behind. The recruitment took place between September and November 2012, and we had follow-up visits every 6 weeks for 2 years. And we did a total of 15 visits. So that's how data was collected. We had anthropometric measurements. We had household socioeconomic data and demographic, milk yield and food consumption patterns, human and animal health data on syndromic data. This was done after every 6 weeks. So on intervention 1, that is on provision of livestock feeds, I don't know if you can see the photo on the extreme right. Those are the animal feeds that we provided. They are called range cubes. If I can equate them with our nutrition, it's like a plumpy nut, the RUTF that we can give to the animal, in quotes. So we selected 2 tropical livestock units for each household. And a tropical livestock unit, in this case, it meant the family had to leave 2 cows, milking cows at the household, or 2 camel, or 20 sheep and goat, or a combination. You can do 10 sheep and goat plus a cow, 10 sheep and goat plus a camel, or a camel and a goat. Each household was provided with 4 bags, each of 50 kgs, 2 weeks before the start of the dry season, and 3 bags on the 50th day of the dry season. So the animals are supposed to be given 4 kg of these range cubes in a day. So if you have 2 cows, it's 2 kg each. On intervention 2, on enhanced nutritional counseling, this was done every week, and we used various counseling tools like the mother, infant, and young child nutrition counseling card. There is milk utilization card, and we also have livestock feed card. The MAYCN is a national tool that was used. So looking at the results for objective 1, to determine the effect of providing livestock feeds during critical dry periods on the household milk yield, we found out that livestock feeding consistently associated with higher milk production at household level. So if the animals are fed well, this will be associated with higher milk production. And from the study, we found out that there was an average of 0.63 more liters of milk per day compared to households in the control arm. And this represented a 78% increase in milk production among households receiving the animal feeds. On objective 2, that is looking at the consumption and frequency for children under 5 years, pregnant and lactating women, we found out that children in the household receiving livestock feed consumed an average of 200 ml more of milk per day compared to those in the control arm, and this represented a 55% increase in milk consumption by children. And for those households which received livestock feed and enhanced nutritional counseling, there was 240 ml more consumption per day compared to the control arm, and this represented a 70% increase in milk consumption. In frequency, there was an increase by 16% for households receiving livestock feeds. On consumption for the pregnant and lactating women, there was 150 more ml of milk consumption by pregnant and lactating women per day compared to the control arm, which represented 167% in milk consumption. On objective 3, to determine the effect of providing livestock feed and nutritional counseling on risk of acute malnutrition among children under 5 years, we found out that this was significantly associated with a decrease of 11% of acute malnutrition. So this is acute malnutrition. We are talking about the wasting. There was a reduction of 11% to the arm that received livestock feeds only. And to the arm that received livestock feed and nutritional counseling, there was 26% decrease in risk of acute malnutrition. On dietary diversity, for households that received livestock feed, there was 78% increase in dietary diversity for children. And for those that received livestock feed and nutritional counseling, there was 154% increase, about 2.54 times more. On minimum dietary diversity for women, there was a 55% increase for those receiving livestock feeds only, and 322%, about 4.22 times for those receiving livestock feed and nutritional counseling. The conclusion: sustained milk production and consumption throughout the year play a significant role in preventing seasonal spikes in acute malnutrition. We know that in ASAL area, milk is a main part of their diet. So when milk is not there, when all the animals have been taken away, their nutrition is really affected. Food assistance should be implemented hand in hand with pastoral livelihoods protection initiatives. And in this case, we are talking about approaches such as providing the livestock feeds, subsidizing cost of livestock feed vouchers, supporting livestock feed supplies, and which not only promote the local economy, but also promote access to milk to the vulnerable groups. Some of the recommendations from the studies are, which can be taken further to be investments in livestock programming, promotion of livestock feeding of milking animals in pastoral setting, especially during dry season, to ensure sustained milk availability and consumption at household level, promoting good livestock breeds, establishment of energy efficient cold chain infrastructure. This will support in terms of increasing the shelf life of the animal source foods, upscale interventions that will increase local availability and accessibility to livestock feeds. As we did the project using the range cutes, they are very expensive, they are not cheap. So we wish as a country we could have more intervention that will increase the local available feeds, which can be used in times of drought, and can ensure continuous milk supply. Implementation of integrated livestock feeding plus SBCC, that is social behavior change communication, including nutrition counseling. We have seen that in the arm where there was enhanced nutrition, the results were more better than just providing the feeds. Ensure households with individuals of highest vulnerability are benefiting from the livestock programming. This is where we find that what Dr. Chalo was saying here in the morning is that we find that someone doing livestock, a course in livestock, does not know how it translates into human nutrition. So if we help them, even in targeting for the most vulnerable, especially the nutritional vulnerable beneficiaries, the benefit will be more at the community level. Other recommendations are stimulate sustainable local livestock productivity and link milk producers to local markets. Modern livestock husbandry techniques like social behavior change on overstocking. This was experienced in the current drought. For example, in Kajiado, you find that the drought is there, early warning has been given out, but they don't want to destock until they leave the animals to die. So we need to change that culture. We need to show them the importance of early destocking, and also reinforcing good pastoral practices, controlled grazing, feeds for food, and environmentally sound livelihood option in mind, having the issues of climate change. Thank you.